Okay, I'm back, baby. We back on the impeachment.
The next video is the viewpoint of the insurrectionists. It begins with the mob amassing and then cuts ahead to show you their surge to the House door.
I'm gonna make no sense. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all.
Those doors, to orient you at home, are the doors that the President of the United States walks through when he or she gives a State of the Union address. You may have heard one man yelled, "No violence," and another responded, "It's too late for that." They don't listen without that. They were there to stop the certification of the election. At this point, inside the House chamber, we can now hear the pounding on the doors. At 2:35 p.m., members on the House floor were told an evacuation route was secured and it was time to leave. This video shows members of Congress exiting to the side of the podium where we would go through the House lobby and downstairs.
This was a mess. Seeing this new video, it was already a mess, but this is a mess.
Because of coronavirus restrictions, congressional members have been waiting in the gallery for their time to speak just one level above the House floor. Representatives, staff, journalists all took cover under their chairs, helped each other put on their gas masks, and held hands as rioters gathered outside.
I'm watching MSNBC.
Here in this slide, you see Representative Jason Crow comforting our colleague, Representative Susan Wild. The rioters continued to surround the House chamber, flooding the halls and kicking on the doors as they passed them. This security video shows Ashley Babbitt, followed by others in the mob, turning the corner toward the House lobby doors where the members were leaving.
No, I don't.
Chairman McGovern was one of the last members to leave the floor.
Which is sad because
the House lobby just after 2:40 p.m.
I'm watching and I'm like, they should convict him, and I don't think that they will. I still don't think they will. Please don't spread your conspiracy theories over here. We need this I heard shenanigans. What's your source? What's your credible source on that? It was so close.
Minutes later at 2:44 p.m.
Let me cut this down a little bit. Did y'all see when the Nancy Pelosi staff was hiding? Like God was on that. God, Jesus was on those people. Like it was so close. That's crazy.
Inside the chamber, representatives, staff, and journalists remain trapped in the gallery.
Baby, I'm hungry.
The House floor, the gunshot.
I'm hungry.
My colleague, Representative Dan Kilby, produced this reporting. The fuck?
Take your pants off.
Out of fear that they'd be seen or taken by the mob, my colleagues were telling each other to take off their congressional pins. That buzzing sound that you hear in the background of these videos was the sound of the gas masks. It was not until approximately 2:50
The gas mask got sound?
about 6 minutes after the shooting, downstairs, remaining members, staff, and journalists in the gallery were finally able to flee. In this security footage video, you can see them exiting. Many members are still wearing their gas masks. They walk just feet away from where Capitol Police are holding an insurrectionist at gunpoint. Just minutes earlier, that insurrectionist had tried to open the gallery door and thankfully was stopped by a tactical team.
Wow. They got him on the ground at gunpoint when members of Congress was walking out. Wow.
Although members were now being moved to another location, the mob continued to fight, to stop the count, to find the members, to engage with the police. The building was not yet secure. This security video from 2:56 p.m. shows the mob in the House of Representatives wing on the second floor of the Capitol. Insurrectionists who are still inside the building are fighting with the police, who are overwhelmed and trying to get them out. Throughout this presentation, we have been very careful to not share where members of Congress were taken on the paths they followed to get out and off the floors. But that very issue was under discussion by the insurrectionists themselves. One example comes from an FBI affidavit, which stated that a leader of a militia group known as the Oath Keepers received messages while he was at the Capitol. The leader was given directions to where representatives were thought to be sheltering and instructions to, quote, turn on gas, seal them in.
Wow.
And as you know, the threat to the Senate was no less than that of the members of the House. The mob approached the Senate with the same purpose, fulfilling President Trump's goal of stopping the count, delaying the certification of the electoral college votes of the American people. As you heard from Manager Plaskett, Vice President Pence was moved away from the area near the Senate chamber around 2:25 p.m. By that time, rioters had breached several areas close to this chamber, and they were flooding the hallways just outside and nearby. The Senate chamber was not evacuated until 2:30 p.m. The mob had been in the building for more than 15 minutes. This new security footage of the senators and staff leaving the chamber will be displayed on the screens. It is silent.
Look at them running. Look at them. All the senators running. How y'all not gonna convict this man? And y'all live through this? Ooh. Baby, I forgot I was on screen. My bad. Sorry, here, excuse me. That burger was good.
You cannot see it in this footage. But quick thinking Senate floor staff grabbed and protected the electoral ballots that the mob was after. Those of you who were here that day will recall that once you left the Senate floor, you moved through a hallway to get to safety. That hallway was near where Officer Goodman had encountered a mob.
Come on.
Upstairs.
Come on, Eugene.
You know how close you came to the mob. Some of you, I understand, could hear them, but most of the public does not know how close these rioters came to you.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's close, but how close was it?
As you were moving through that hallway, I paced it off. You were just 58 steps away from where the mob was amassing and where police were rushing to stop them. They were yelling. In this security video, you can see how the Capitol Police created a line and blocked the hallway with their bodies to prevent rioters at the end of the hall from reaching you and your staff.
Them Capitol Police officers was, I mean, they was on their job. They didn't have backup and support, but when you look at the video, they was on their job. They did what they could do. I'm not mad at the actual Capitol Police people. The leadership should have had backup, but the Capitol Police on the ground, they like, y'all need to give all them people raises. I wouldn't even come back. I would have to quit from pain and suffering, not PTO, workman's comp, all that. I need to be off. Look at that. Brown could pretty good.
Because this is security footage that you have not seen before, I want to play it again. The top of the screen is the other end of that hallway where the mob is amassed and the officers are rushing to protect you.
Maybe they know they got some good whipped cream.
Additional security footage shows how Leader Schumer and the members of his protective detail had a near miss with the mob. They came within just yet of the rioters and had to turn around. Here in this new video, you see Leader Schumer walking up a ramp. Going up the ramp with his detail, he'll soon go out of view.
Look at that, and had to turn around and run away.
Seconds later, they return and run back down the hallway, and officers immediately shut the door and use their bodies to keep them safe.
That don't make no sense. All these people need to go to jail.
From the Senate floor, insurrectionists reached this Senate gallery. The following video was filmed by a New Yorker reporter.
That don't make no sense, man. I'm about to cry. That don't make no sense.
Minutes later, the insurrectionists invaded and desecrated the Senate floor. These vandals shouted and rifled through the desks in this room. They took pictures of documents and of themselves, celebrating that they had taken over the floor.
It's gonna be Corral. It's gonna be. It wasn't scheduled, but it's gonna be. Baby, there's a lot to take in. All this video of these insurrectionists, baby. You need calories. You need calories. They don't even know what they're looking for, just rummaging through papers.
Larry Brock, who was arrested for his role in the insurrection, was photographed on the Senate floor wearing a helmet, tactical gear, and carrying flex cuffs.
What were the plexi cuffs for?
This man, also in the Senate gallery, is Eric Munchell. Like Brock, he was dressed in what appears to be tactical gear, also holding up flex cuffs.
Right. What was the cuffs for?
If the doors to this chamber had been breached just minutes earlier, imagine what they could have done with those.
Hold on, y'all.
After insurrectionists occupied the Capitol and stopped the joint session from counting the votes, the Capitol was in lockdown for 5 hours. As long as it took to get back to the Capitol, to get back to the certification of the election, it could have been so much longer. Or we might not been able to have resumed it at all. As horrific as it was, 140 officers injured, 3 officers who ultimately lost their lives. We all know that awful day could have been so much worse.
It could have been terrible.
The only reason it was not was because of the extraordinary bravery of the men and women of the Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police Departments. For hours and hours, these insurrectionists were in hand-to-hand combat with these brave men and women. Like some of you,
I guess we're gonna have to put new rules. Conspiracy theory is gonna get blocked too.
my 2 brothers, my little brothers, are cops who walk.
Be careful. Verified sources. Verify. I don't want to hear it's coming in a week. It's coming in 2 weeks. Verified sources. One more, you're blocked. Period. Now move on back.
So let's focus now on the attack.
No, this is not ice cream. This
defending the Capitol that day.
My bad. I didn't know that was gonna come out. This from Great American Cookie. You know how they put them the 2 cookies in the whipped cream? I forgot what kind of cookie she said this was. It's something, I don't know. And then chocolate chip with the whipped cream. Baby, they whipped cream is so good. It's so good. Yeah, that burp had snuck up on me. I didn't know that thing was, it just flew out. I was like, oh. Normally I don't eat in front of people like this. So it be all right. I be in my own personal space, just eating. Better out than in.
You hear the officer describe they're using munitions. The rioters, are using munitions against us. This video shows how the sprays that were described were used against the officers. In a separate Metropolitan Police Department radio traffic recording, you can hear an officer when he realizes that the insurrectionists had overtaken the police line.
Exactly, Miss Shamika. What Obama had to do with that? Baby, y'all need to come down here to the YouTube. We having a good time on the YouTube. Hey, TikTok, come on down here to the YouTube.
The MPD officer calls out 1033. That's the code for emergency. Officer in need of assistance. His words, we've lost the line. Hours after members of the House and Senate had left this area. On the west front of the building, the mob continued to grow, continued to beat the officers.
I don't know what kind of cookie it is. This one chocolate chip. I don't know. The lady said this was something. I don't know. I just said give it to me.
With a crutch, a hockey stick, a bullhorn, and a Trump flag.
Hey, from TikTok. Look at that. I'm gonna have to lay down after this.
I want to show you that same attack from the officer's perspective from his body camera footage.
Wow. They are literally beating this cop. This body footage is crazy.
27 p.m. Over 2 hours from when the Capitol was first breached. The attack on police that afternoon was constant. Metropolitan Police Officer Michael Quentin, a 20-year police veteran with 4 daughters, was part of a line of officers protecting the Capitol.
That's crazy.
He was one of 3 officers that the mob dragged down the stairs. When they dragged him, they stole his badge, his radio, his ammunition magazine, and they tased him, triggering a heart attack. Here he describes his experience.
Looked like a medieval battle scene. It was some of the most brutal combat I've ever encountered. At one point I got tased. People were yelling at me, we got one, we got one.
Officer Christina Lowry, who regularly serves in MPD's Narcotics and Specialized Investigation Division, also protected the front Capitol entrance. Here's her experience.
I can't say enough about the officers that were there.
Oh, that was ranch. That I was dipping my burger in. That was ranch.
Literally officers that were in a line, stopping these people that were beating them with metal poles. They were
Excuse me.
Their mace. I mean, they did everything in their power to not let these people in. And this was going on for hours.
Around 4:30 p.m., hours into the Capitol riots, Officer Daniel Hodges was protecting a West Side Capitol entrance when rioters who were trying to stop the certification trapped him between 2 doors. When Officer Hodges was interviewed later, this is how he described what was happening.
They threw down a huge metal object that hit me in the head. I was also knocked down. The medical mask I was wearing at the time got pulled up over my eyes, so I was on the ground and blinded, and they started just attacking me from all sides.
Rioters crushed Officer Hodges. He was wedged in the doorway, blood dripping from his mouth. He was struggling to breathe, all while the insurrectionists hit him. Officer Hodges' experience reminds you of what he and many other officers experienced that day, what they went through. We're also reminded of 3 officers who lost their lives. Capitol Hill police officers Sicknick, Liebengood, and Metropolitan Police Officer Smith. In many law enforcement families, we pray for our loved ones, and we know the scripture of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. I'm sorry I have to show you the next video, but in it you will see how blessed we were that on that hellish day, we had a peacemaker like Officer Hodges, protecting our lives, our staff's lives, this Capitol, and the certification process. May we do all we can in this chamber to make sure that never happens again.
This don't make no sense. They got all these Make America Great hats, all these Make America Trump flags, and these Republican senators are going to watch all this and literally still not hold him accountable. This is insane. Then crush the policeman in the door, screaming, hollering. Don't talk to me about Blue Lives Matter no more. Y'all don't care about blue lives. Y'all do not care about blue lives. If you did, you'd be as mad as we are watching this. Now, we be out there protesting police. We don't want to get shot in the street, but still don't want this happening to them.
Recess for dinner and we'll resume at 6:15.
Sure.
6:15
6:15 is 5:15 my time. Okay, so they're taking about an hour, 45-minute break.
Supporters, murdered a police officer, tortured others, and essentially sought to carry out an assassination attempt against Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi because they told us so.
Yeah.
So to Donald Trump. We are back with
This don't make no sense. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and take my
and Claire.
You know I didn't ate. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down on that couch. Y'all can't see it. That's TikTok. I'm gonna lay down on that couch.
To witness.
Okay, Claire? I'll be back when they come back.
Okay. You need a minute?
It's just so hard, Nicole. I mean, watching my friends and the staff members run to that hallway in fear.
Claire McCaskill about to break down.
Capitol building. And then, I mean, my anger, I am so sad at my anger. The nerve of this man to claim he supports police and supports
Thank you.
Sitting in his office while this was going on and did nothing. I mean, that alone makes this an impeachable offense.
Well, I always got a cake.
He failed to do nothing to protect the people in that building once he knew it had completely gotten out of hand and turned violent.
Right.
It's just heartbreaking.
I think the hearts of everyone that was in the building have been revealed as being as broken as yours, Claire McCaskill. And I think the only question.
Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Claire almost started crying. That threw my mind.
This was a president who summoned a mob to kill his vice president. And we will rack that video.
No, what did I say? I said they're gonna be going for an hour 45 minutes. That's not right. It's not an hour 45. He said 6:15, which is 5:15 my time. So that's 45 minutes. I don't know where I got an hour from. Oh, maybe because of the time difference. I'm looking. They're gonna take a break for 45 minutes. Excuse me. So TikTok people, baby, y'all need to come on down to the YouTube because I'm gonna be using this phone for something else. But we'll be streaming again on the YouTube. You see that in my description field. The QueJiles show. Come on down here. Over her. I'm gonna lay down for 10 minutes. I'm gonna let this thing digest, if you will. And when they come back, I'll come back, but I'll actually be doing something different. I'm not sure if let me cut this down a little bit. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Fat Man Scoop, I don't know if you call him a rapper, but the remix guy. So I'm gonna be doing an Instagram live with him. Just to kind of give a quick analysis, but I will be streaming it live, the behind the scenes on the YouTube. So I'm going to use my phone to do the IG live, but I'm going to be streaming on the YouTube for the behind the scenes and all that other good stuff. So TikTok people, baby, come on down here to the YouTube. Come on down here to the YouTube. So we'll be doing that in about 45 minutes. And then when I get done with that, we'll transition back into watching the impeachment trial. But yeah, I'm gonna go and lay down, let that cookie and that burger and them fries and that piece of brownie. Oh, I did kind of have a lot of food just now, didn't I? That was kind of heavy. Whew, okay, well, I'm gonna let that do what it do. And I'll be back, okay? All right, people.
Security footage and present a case that makes clear that assassinating Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi was the intent.